All right, man. So Brook knows a lot of shit. Brook has been through a lot of stuff because he's lived over 90 years, and I think, yeah, 90 years in the current storyline, and he's seen so much stuff. I think he's literally up against a God Knight and one of the Gorosei right now in his early in his early first life. How old is Brook around now? I think in his 20s or something. I can't really do the timelines, but yeah, Brook has faced off against Big Mama Yonko, and now he looks like he's going to be facing off against one God's Knight. This guy that he looks like he kind of has a square face. I'm going to say square face for him, and he's gone up against a Gorosei apparently because it looks like Marcus Mars is there. I think it was Itsumade, bird form, or maybe it's not Marcus Mars, and it's a different God's Knight, and then not God's Knight Gorosei, and we'll see that the yokai forms they just pass down to whatever Gorosei there is. Maybe we'll see that Garling has a spider one now that Saturn's gone. But it's probably Marcus Mars. They seem to have lived for a long time. I think the only confirmed Gorosei we've seen over 200 years ago was Saturn, I believe. On the Was it even 200 years ago? Well, not 200 years ago, whenever God Valley happened and stuff, that's like the furthest back we've seen for a Gorosei. We don't know how old all of them have been, like how recent they've been to the Gorosei, but yeah, this is most likely Marcus Mars. But if it was honestly Marcus Mars, why is Oda silhouetting him? We've seen Marcus Mars before, we've seen the bird form before. Maybe it might be a different Gorosei. There was a Gorosei prior to Marcus Mars. He might be a quite recent Gorosei. And yeah, this Itsumade form might look a bit different because I don't know why Oda would still be silhouetting him, but as we know recently, Emu Emu's form, that his normal silhouette form is just what he looks like. He gets onto the normal plane and he starts to look a bit he looks at his form we see now with the actual humanoid form and not the long lanky silhouette figure. So maybe what we're seeing here is Emu taking over the Itsumade, and it is the silhouette thing like he usually does, because like on God Valley again, when he took over Saturn, Roger and I think was it Roger and Garfield? My memory's not that great, but yeah, Roger and Roxanne were like, "What is that thing?" As in, they were seeing the black silhouette form. So like that silhouette form thing is actually what Emu looks like, and this might be Emu taking over because we know that Emu is going to eventually be able to take over Gunko, who is Princess Shuri right now. So I'm assuming Emu is here, like his presence. He's observing. He's taking over. He's handing out covenant seals to people and whatnot. But yeah, we got this Garsey guy here. Not Garsey, but I'm assuming a God's Knight here, and I have a quick theory on who he is. But I will, when I circle around back to chronologically go through the chapter, I'll say about who I think he is. It links back to Thriller Bark. Everything seems to link back to Thriller Bark and the General Zombies. Like the General Zombies, most of them that we know about, most of them were on Rock's crew. Captain John, Gil Bastar, Gonzui, they were all on Rock's crew. But there was one. I might as well just go about it now. I was just looking it up. What's his name? There's one G Goro. It said he was just fiercely loyal to his family, and I'm just looking at the wiki, and that is he used to he took down a lot of pirates apparently. Killed 7,000 pirates. That's quite a lot of pirates. Yeah, and he was one of the general zombies. And if you look at his shirt that he's wearing, it's Your Song and music and Estrella. I don't know if we had more backstory on this guy, but I didn't even remember him when I was just looking it up because I just thought this guy's face, and if you look at the general facial features of this guy, it's kind of similar to this. I'm just assuming this guy's a God's Knight since what's his name is here. Marcus Mars is here as well, and we're doing all the Covenant stuff, and we're getting into the God's Knights. But it seems like this is a God's Knight we haven't seen. Maybe Brook actually takes him down. Has Brook taken down a God's Knight? Because like I was trying to go into earlier, he's taken on a Yonko. before in Big Mom. This will be late in his life, but how strong is Brook? I was discussing this with my friends as well. How strong is Brook really? Because have we ever seen him like struggle in a fight? Like in Thriller Bark, I can't remember when he got his shadow back at the end, so he was never like full power in Thriller Bark. We've never really seen him struggle. Fought against Neo on Fishman Island, um, and that was like an easy fight. That was an easy fight for all the Straw Hats. He was playing support role in Wano. Yeah, just support role in Wano. Didn't really get a scratch on him. Anytime he does get a scratch on him, just drink some milk and he's back to health, full health again. Fought against Big Mom. That was off screen. Apparently, he was able to injure one of her homies using his soul power. Yeah, Brook is pretty powerful. We haven't really seen him struggle in a fight, to be honest, except against Emu. But Emu's final villain, like Emu Gunko, when Emu was taking over Gunko, but that's a final villain. You can't really fault Brook for that, and he might be going through some emotional turmoil. He might not actually want to hurt. Um, he want to say Gunko Shurai because this is one of the last moments he's seeing her, and I'm gonna assume he should kind of know that she's being controlled because she's got devil horns and devil wings, and another huge thing. So does Brook's benefactor. Why don't I remember his name? Shurai's dad. Uh, why don't I remember his name? Why don't I remember his name? He's a new character, so um, yeah. But the king of the Estria Kingdom, he's got the black wings and the devil horn, so it's most likely a situation where uh they both got turned, and just like Emu has a thing of doing this now, making the kid destroy their possessed dad. This is the second time this has happened. Maybe it happens again, but there's a running theme with Emu and these covenants. The Oh my god, Shanks is gonna kill his pops as well, isn't it? Because Shanks, there's technically the same situation with Garling and Shanks, because Garling will have a covenant, a more powerful one than Shanks currently. Shanks doesn't have one anymore. He chopped off his, didn't chop off. He fed his arm to a Sea King to get rid of it. But yeah, it could happen again. That this could be foreshadowing. Yeah, Shanks is gonna actually defeat Garling. We all thought Shanks versus Blackbeard. I personally think Blackbeard's gonna kill Shanks in the end. But anyway, we move on. Let's go back to the start of the chapter. And it starts off with back to the flashback within the flashback. Brook is going around the palace with what is her name? I don't know any character's name. Candle. He's going around the palace with Candle, and we can see from a young age Brook was always a womanizer, like a mini little Sanji back then. But honestly, Brook way more suave with it. Now I'm like Brook in his like young adolescent years, like the older as an older adult, as a young adult even. I'm trying to say. I ain't gonna lie, dude looking kind of fly. He got the Michael Jackson kind of aura to him, I'm not gonna lie. And you know Michael Jackson had that conqueror's like hacky level aura, like. And another thing, I'm just gonna go over this. I haven't been here for a while. What's going on with Usopp, man? Or how is Elbaf more focused on Brook than Usopp? I'm not understanding this, but we'll see where we go with this, Oda, because honestly, I was not a fan of Usopp for the longest while, and I was starting to finally like give him a chance and whatnot. And he's like, I didn't really care that he didn't do anything in Wano. I don't really care. Like he's just there. He's like he's Usopp on the crew. I was like he's just, after like I don't know how long I've been reading One Piece. He's finally starting to grow on me. But seeing all the discourse with him and Elbaf, and yeah, really Elbaf should be his arc, and he needs to get rid of this cowardice kind of stuff. But I'm sure Oda is gonna turn it around for Usopp somehow. If he keeps the same character throughout, I don't understand. Maybe a death. I was thinking maybe Usopp gets like turned by Emu or something, and we go rescue Usopp. And when we finally rescue Usopp, he'll have some lingering of devil power, and he finally gets a power up through that or something. But yeah, but anyway, back off Usopp. Well, let's go back to Brook. Brook, yeah, he's Yeah, he's got his old classic lines, always asking ladies to see his panties ever since he was a little kid, about like probably 7 years old or something. I should get the exact. I should do more research when I do these videos, but oh well. Like I just like to wing it, go with it. But yeah, Candle is in charge of all of his studying and whatnot. So yeah, Candle was kind of appointed as Brook's mentor tutor by King Reuven, Prince Reuven. At this point, I went back and actually looked up his name. So yeah, she's in charge of looking after Brooke and teaching him manners and politeness and whatnot. And there's actually a scene where she tells Brooke he can't be so crass, and he's like, because how he usually asks, he was like, "Can I see your panties?" kind of thing. That's as a kid, but he like, and we see this like now, even later on as as skeleton Brooke, he's like, "May I please see your panties, madame?" It's kind of thing. So he's more polite with it. He's not so rude and crass, but he still wants you to give him them panties, my girl. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, Brooke a freak with it, but to be honest, that's probably like a callback to Michael Jackson type shit as well, because ladies be throwing their panties as Michael Jackson, and if Michael Jackson asked to see a lady's panties back in his heyday, yeah, he was seeing them. Oh, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, everyone's kind of jealous that Brooke gets to hang out with Candle so much. She's like the most popular person. She's strong. She's beautiful. She's just got the aura about her. But yeah, he's everyone's kind of jealous that he's the one who gets all the tutelage and everything from her. And yeah, it looks like, and yeah, she also teaches us how to sword fight. So Brooke's style of fencing actually comes from Candle, and this is what I'm saying again. Brooke has been training from a very young age, even like as young as Zoro started training. Is Brooke actually secretly Zoro level? Does he have Conqueror's haki? Because to be honest, his control with his devil fruit is pretty insane. For like, he didn't really train that much with his devil fruit on Thriller Bark. All the training he had was 2 year time skip, and it was able to get to the level of damaging a Yonko's homie, Big Mom's homie, like technically damaging a Yonko, and he didn't really have that much training. Brook is secretly kind of OP, and I think it's been really well done how Oda's kind of skirted around Brook fighting. Like I said, have we ever actually seen Brook exert a lot of effort in a fight? I'm trying to think. Even Punk Hazard, what was he doing on Punk Hazard? I can't really remember. He didn't really have any significant fight, did he? I don't think so. So yeah, and he, like I say, he was playing the support role on Wano. Oda has really masterfully kept Brook out of the spotlight of a major fight for a while, whilst also trickling him kind of being strong. Like I said, that moment against Big Mom. I know that's just one moment, but he managed to get the poneglyph etchings and everything. He must outsmart a Yonko, and it wasn't like Big Mom had any handicaps or anything. It was literally Brook in front of Big Mom, normal kind of situation. He obviously didn't full out go fighting. He probably was like doing some hit and run tactics and whatnot. It didn't actually damage her physically, damage her spiritually, literally. But yeah, it's Brook is stronger than we realize. He is stronger than we actually realize. We're going back to the present of the Backflash. Brook telling Shurai why he loves their family so much, his father, her father, and her mother, Reuven and Kandel. And it's because yeah, obviously he had nothing. They took him in, taught him manners, taught him how to fight, gave him a job. Eventually, he's the head of their royal guard or whatever. And sure, I gets a little bit like insecure. It's like, so do you even love me for me, kind of thing. Like, you love my parents, but you'd only like, would you lay down your life for me? And Brooke says, of course I would. But she's like, oh, it's only it's because of your appreciation for my parents. But Brooke lets her know, no, it's because of you as well. So it's a nice little moment to show like Brooke actually does care about Shurai as well, even though like in the present he is pissed off as fuck towards her. But yeah, he does really care about her. He says, "No, it's because of you. I'd still lay down my life for you." Then we kind of just get a bit of a montage flash of more of Brook's life with Shurai. He's like watching her grow, like that. I think they're measuring her growth, and she's trying to stretch her top to say she's taller than she actually is. And we Brook is there still asking to see like ladies' panties and whatnot, and Shurai correcting him. They're fishing, having a good time, just like her and Brooke and Reuven used to do. He's now doing it with like Shurai kind of thing. But then tragedy strikes. 50 when Shurai turned 15, the music died in Espeira, and a thick smog covered the land. And to be honest, this looks similar to the what happened to the Rumbar pirates. It's like kind of like frosting over, kind of like that gas on Punk Hazard as well that like kind of throws people started because you there's a scene you can see like it's kind of like ice kind of thing, but it's like petrification kind of thing happening over this guitar or ukulele, or it looks like a smaller guitar or ukulele or something. And yeah, you can even see it on the one Burke is using. But this mist is covering the nation, causing loads of people to get sick. And the reason it might be connected to the same thing that had the poisonous gas that took out the Rumbar pirates. I was thinking why Brook survived the longest is because he's already been exposed to a similar type of gas on the Esperia King in the Kingdom. So that might be the reason why Brook was actually the last one to kick the bucket. And also, he might just been just physically stronger, just more of a resistance because he's buff. But it would make sense. He has a bit of a resistance to this guy. This might have been the first type of the gas, and then what they got hit with the Rumbar Fire was a new updated version of it. So Brook has some resistances, but not completely resistant. Okay, we're back. My camera overheated. I forgot to put on the setting to tolerate higher temperatures, but this is what we work with, and this is what we deal with when we're making YouTube videos. And I hope my audio is fine because I can't hear myself right now. And yeah, I was realizing I was really listening back to what just recorded, and yeah, my gain was too high. I think I've got better audio now, but yeah, we working it out, baby. We just I just wanted to come back, be raw and regular, you know what I mean? But let's get back into it. What was I saying about the Germa? Not about the Germa. There's a theory about the Germa linking to the Rumbar Pirates, but I hadn't got to that part yet. We're talking about the King of Espeira, they got hit with some mist, and it's similar to the Rumbar Pirates mist. And Brook might have a bit of a resistance to it. That would make sense why he survived the longest on the Rumbar crew. And back to, I believe there was a theory. I was trying to look it up. I don't know if I was making this up in my own head canon, but like maybe that the Germa were messing with the Rumbar Pirates. There was something similar. Like there was some like German. I can't remember the theory, but there is definitely a link between these two mists. I feel like it might not be the German, it might just all be the government. Maybe the government was doing some experimental tests back in the was it the Bermuda Triangle? Was it the Florian Triangle? The Florian Triangle is probably based off the Bermuda Triangle, just a zone of a pirate graveyard kind of thing, and just a zone of very dangerous. Once you get in there, ships go missing kind of thing. And same with the Florian Triangle. Maybe the government were doing some experiments with the mist. We know they have Caesar and Vegapunk, who are both a part of MADS, working for them. Wait, did the government have Caesar working for them at any point? I don't think they actually did. They had Vegapunk working for them. And maybe they were getting him to make chemical weapons or something. Or there's also Saturn, who was a scientist. He was something of a scientist back in the government. So perhaps maybe yeah, he was experimenting with the chemical warfare whatnot. Uh, we're not sure why. We're not sure why the government target Espeira, but we do know that they are the enemy. And okay, we're back real quick. There is one thing that I remembered whilst I was just editing this video. Um, Yeah, Shuri and Brook were talking about how a celestial dragons, it seemed like they were saying someone high up from the government came and Kandel was really stressed afterwards. So I was thinking that this is might be the reason why this mist started raining down on Espeira because maybe a celestial dragon came and probably wanted Candel, you know, the usual celestial dragon thing. They want to just see a beautiful woman. They want Candel. She was so popular in the kingdom. And Reuven to probably was like, nah, you can't have her, whatnot. And like just kind of ran him out kind of thing. And they weren't happy with that. And Brooke said afterwards King Reuven became Prince Reuven, the rugged prince, became the king. I'm thinking maybe as retribution, the Morgoth might have killed like Reuven's dad, and no one really noticed or knew about it, and that's how Reuven became king. And they were still pissed off, so they were like, you know, we got this chemical weapon we got to test, so might as well just do it on that kingdom that pissed us off because they didn't give us their princess. And yeah, so I was just thinking a theory on why the kingdom went into ruin, and it was probably because that celestial dragon came, didn't get what he want, and got pissed off, and then yeah, the countries are under the mist. And actually, yeah, I didn't even get to this part before my camera cut off. Yeah, Candel dies because of this mist, and obviously the whole kingdom is in mourning because she was the most popular person even before she became queen, and yeah, they're obviously Sure Eyes Cry, Brook, and Reuven, they're all taking it hard, obviously, because she was such an important figure and so important to them. And I'm just realizing Esperia had a huge harp um, in right behind the Kingdom Palace, I guess. This is a country, really a country of music. And I wonder if that's gonna be a thing because Luffy used to say one of the main things he wanted was a musician on the crew. And there was literally a country of music that was wiped out, and it seems is the key to the One Piece something about music? It just might be. It just might be Oda doing like a literature like comparison sort of thing. I don't know the right words to use, but like obviously Emu's the evil one, and music can bring a lot of joy to people, and Emu's using this mist to destroy the heart of music in the One Piece world. I'm gonna say like Esperia was probably the like apex of like putting out music back in the day, and even just destroys that. But someone like Joy Boy or Luffy, they look for more musicians for their crew kind of thing, and they want music to uplift the people. And that could be a reason why Espeira was taken out because it's like this music is making the lower realm way too jolly. We need to there's a lot of great things coming out of Espeira, and yeah, it's giving people too much hope. So we need to put an end to that right now. And so Brooke and Shirai is still training hard. Probably Shirai's training harder than ever to like avenge. She was even gonna say mummy, but she said, "Nah, my mother. This is like serious shit now. I'm not a little girl anymore." She was gonna be strong, just like her mommy, like a mother. And yeah, she's talking to Brooke, and Brooke, and she's like to Brooke, "Are you sure you want to stay around and still help with the Royal Guard? Didn't you want to be a pirate, Brooke?" And that's interesting to know that Brooke actually did want to be a pirate before he even joined the Rumbar crew. Um, but Brooke says, "Nah, I can put that on hold. Your father needs me now, and like he said before, he'll do anything for his father. He'll die for King Reuben." So. Yeah, this is just putting the dream of adventuring as a pirate on hold for a little bit whilst we like take care of business for her mother and for the king. Yeah, Brooke can do that. And this is the scene. This is the scene. Like Reuben looks like it's giving me what's it called, Billy Butcher vibes from like the boys in it. I know the season 5 finale wasn't that great, but Reuven, his hair's all scraggly, his he got blood on his face is dirty, and he says the world government is our enemy. This means war. And this, I was actually thinking I might even have to have this as a as a wallpaper. This scene with King Reuven, and he just kind of looks cold. He's got a cold fit, but like He's a scraggly man face and with the hair everywhere. Yeah, it's a kind of cool scene. But anyway, yeah, Prince Reuben means business, and Brooke just says, "Understood." Like he said, he'll do anything for this family. We go make the whole world government our enemy. Sure, whatever, man. If it's for you, big bro Reuben, we're gonna do it. Say less. Let's go. It turns out for the heavenly tribute, they can't afford it. The kingdom can't afford it. They've been ravaged by this disease, this what's it called? This mist, this poison. And instead of the heavenly tribute, they said you can give up 1,000 slaves. And yeah, Reuben just was not having that shit. And it was like if they want to have slaves, like in this day and age, it's still commonplace up there in the what's it called, in the Holy Land in Marijua. He's like, nah, we're not doing this. We're fighting back. We're fighting back. And, he's like, and the whole country's kind of scared of like, oh, people who aren't affiliated with the world government, they're treated as lawless zones. And they mentioned apparently there was another nation in the West Blue that also disappeared. Is was that God Valley? Was God Valley in the West? Was God Valley in the West? I can't remember. I can't remember. Are they talking about God Valley? Has God Valley happened yet? I should really like freshen up on my One Piece timelines and whatnot. But Brook starts singing a jolly old song to get everyone um back in the mood, and yeah, and he does. Like music just is. That's why Emo wants to destroy Espeira, because music is the key to like building up hope in people. And it seems like Brook is going to be a much more important figure down the line in One Piece than we realize. The government finally get here and they are just laying siege to the place. Brook is fighting back. We see Brook like skipping around. We know Brook is very fast. I want he's probably faster as a skeleton. Yeah, most likely more faster in his skeleton form. He's got less weight, less muscle. But to be honest, he has more muscle, so maybe more power getting generated. Because how does he? You know what? Let's not go too deep in. I was also thinking this. What if this is a power up for Brook? He's somehow able to get his body back, and goes back to his original strength because like he has muscles and stuff. Now to like use. He just he might just be kind of like Darth Vader. Just Darth Vader. I recently found this out about Darth Vader. He's actually moving his body through the Force. What if Brook is moving? Probably is technically moving his body through soul power, but if he goes back to his physical muscles plus the soul power, insane power up for Brook. Insane power up for Brook. Um, it could be a limited time, limited thing. Maybe fucking Yomi Yomi no Mi Awakening, full revive. He goes back to his peak physical form. Yeah, that. Oh, you never know. I don't know why I said it like a domain expansion. Yomi Yomi no Awakening. That'd be cool if that's how they did it, like a domain expansion. But anyway, um, full revive. Uh, but yeah, Burke is running to the palace. He's obviously not quick enough in this one because the nigga's dead by the time he's yeah, by the time he's in the palace. Yeah, Reuben is dead, and we are back where we started from. I kind of like doing it like that. I think I'm gonna do it because I'm always most excited to talk about the end bit of the chapter, so we can do a loop around. But yeah, I already talked about the what? Who did I think it was? Jigoro. And yeah, whatnot. So yeah, it seems like it's a situation with uh like the same with Harold and Loki. Reuven wanted Shurai probably to kill him. He didn't want to kill Shurai. He probably gained enough of himself back enough so that he could like stay still and she dealt the final blow to him. It's probably definitely gonna be a situation like that. Reuven defo allowed Shirai to kill him. Because I'm thinking he's got bigger horns. The size of the horn matters in my opinion. Because Kaido's horns were kind of huge compared to his body when you like look at it and realize. Because look how small like Shirai's is. I think like size of horn might actually matter for like power level. That's why the ancient giants were like so strong. They had huge horns as well. If there was like it could have been an ancient giant, really big and tall, but had tiny horns, so he actually wasn't that powerful. Like he didn't have good hacking and shit. But yeah, there's this guy who I think is Gyogoro up. I hopefully remember to edit a picture of the guy I'm talking about. Yeah, it's probably a new character, but it'd be cool if it linked back to that General Zombie. I think he's the only one we don't really know about his past life. Yeah, so that's all I got for this chapter. If I think of anything else, I'll do a dedicated video. Yeah, that's it, and I'll see you guys next time.